Daniel Sports Central, we go over a college football game preview and prediction on the Week 6 matchup between the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Louisville Cardinals, two teams that are very much in contention as we look forward to Week 6. You got Notre Dame. This is a team that is 5-1 on this season. Lost to Ohio State a couple of weeks ago, but this is still a team that is built to win this season. And Louisville on the other side, this is a team that is on the rise right now. They have cracked the top 25 once again, 5-0 on this season. A huge matchup for both teams coming up here in Week 6. We'll be covering a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today. Let's get started with your team trends. Notre Dame beat Duke last week. 21-14 was the final score, which Duke is a talented football team. That's not something that you usually say. I mean, they're usually one of the worst teams in the ACC, but this season, it's definitely different. They should be one of the top teams in the conference this season. So an impressive win for the Irish, coming off of obviously the brutal loss to Ohio State in Week 4, getting walked off there at home. But Notre Dame beat Duke last week, which was a massive win, 5-1 on the season, ranked back in the top 10 as they should be. Louisville on the other side beat NC State 13-10, which Cardinals, a talented team offensively. Only scoring 13 there was definitely surprising, but at least got it done defensively, and they're 5-0 on the season, ranked in the top 25 once again. We kind of knew heading into the season Louisville could be a dark horse in the ACC, but they've been very impressive so far this season, and for them to be at home in this matchup, there's definitely reason for some to be picking the Cardinals in this one for sure. Games be on Saturday, October 7th in Louisville. Kickoff is 6:30 p.m. Central, so Louisville, home team in a night matchup, definitely could be a bit dangerous for Notre Dame. You consider that. The spread's going with Notre Dame by 6.5. So Irish are still favored by about a touchdown. Over-under's 54. And the FPI is going with the Irish as well, 70.5%. So Notre Dame favored by about a touchdown, as you'd probably expect. That's kind of where it should be, I think. And your series history, Notre Dame leads at 2-1. We've seen these two teams play each other 3 times in the past decade. This is the 4th matchup. We saw Notre Dame win in 2019 and 2020, and Louisville win in 2014. Your stat comparison, Notre Dame 35th in points per game this season. Definitely a talented team on both sides of the ball. 17th in the country in points allowed. You consider they've got one of the best pass defenses in the country. That's something for Louisville that could be an issue. Jack Plummer and this passing game has been the main strength offensively this season, ranked 20th in the country in pass yards a game. But of course, Jawar Jordan, he's been impressive so far this season as well. Over 500 yards already of rushing with 6 touchdowns, so you want to keep an eye on him. But for Notre Dame, a team that is definitely strong in the rushing game. Estime has been incredible so far this season, one of the best running backs in the country. Nearly 700 yards of rushing for him already, 7 touchdowns. And obviously you can't forget about Sam Hartman, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, definitely a Heisman contender. And he's been excellent so far this season. He has done his job. But Notre Dame, of course, offensively, maybe could be better than you would think, or heading into the season. Of course, only scoring 14 on Ohio State. Ohio State, though, is an incredible football team, and then 21 on Duke last week. So, Notre Dame, their offense has to be a bit better if this team wants to be a true national contender. Got to be scoring more than 14 or 21, but this offense has tremendous potential. And I feel like this is a team that is just warming up as well. Give them a couple more weeks, or even at this point in the season, they should be playing some pretty good ball, I think, especially with Sam Hartman having some good experience with Notre Dame at this point. But for Louisville, 36th in the country in points per game, 34th in points allowed. This is a strong team on both sides of the ball. They have really been impressive offensively. You consider when they scored 56 on Murray State, shut them out in that match at 56-0. Obviously put up 56 on Boston College as well. Even 39 on Georgia Tech was impressive. But you consider the Indiana and NC State games, this offense wasn't quite as impressive. Scored 21 on Indiana, 13 on NC State. But that's those two games, the defense really shined for this Louisville team, allowing 10 and 14, while allowing 34 to Georgia Tech and then 28 to Boston College. So this team has been a bit inconsistent so far this season. You look at both sides of the ball, but there's definitely a lot of potential here. If both sides of the ball can click, I feel like this is a Cardinals team that you should definitely be keeping an eye on. But Notre Dame on the other side, dominant in the first 3 games of the season. Beat Tennessee State 56-3. Beat NC State 45-24, which, of course, last week Louisville just played them and beat them by 3. And then for Notre Dame, beat Central Michigan 41-17, lost Ohio State by 3, and then beat Duke 21-14. Your key points: Notre Dame 5-1 on the season, despite a loss to Ohio State a couple of weeks ago. This is still a big contender in Notre Dame. I like this team a lot, and I said this all offseason, but having Sam Hartman in there at quarterback, who was incredible at Wake Forest for many years, he's got experience, and you consider Estime in there. This is a talented team all around. I mean, and I've said this too. I mean, this season is different in that there are 10 to 12 teams right now that I could see winning a national title this season. It's that close at the top. Like the last couple of seasons, it's clearly been Georgia at the top, maybe Michigan right behind, or even Alabama, especially in, you could say 2021 or in 2020 when Alabama was clear and obvious the best team in the country. But I mean, for Notre Dame, this is a team that is very much still in contention, but obviously the pressure is on, considering they have taken a loss on the season already, losing to Ohio State. I mean, that loss can really, that might come back to bite, losing to them, having a walk-off, but that's something that is pretty obvious. Taking a loss in a 4-team college football playoff season is definitely very detrimental to your chances. But Notre Dame is still up there very much in contention. This is a talented football team, but obviously the pressure is on. This is a must-win for Notre Dame, and for Louisville on the other side, the Brahmare has been excellent so far for the Cardinals. They haven't even taken a loss yet, and this is a true ACC dark horse in Louisville. I feel like the ACC has really been impressive in general so far this season, having Florida State up there as a big national contender right now. North Carolina not far behind. Even Louisville and Duke, both really talented teams as well. The ACC's got some talent this season for sure, and I'm going to consider Louisville's situation being at home in this matchup, a night game. What an opportunity for the Cardinals here. If they can win this matchup, I mean, you consider they're already 5-0 on the season. I mean, the opportunities ahead for Louisville, it really starts here, because then after this, got Duke in a couple of weeks, then Miami down the road, Kentucky down the road. I mean, this is a team, if you can win this matchup, you could be a perfect 7-0 heading into the Duke matchup. You win that one at home, suddenly this is maybe a 10-0 team heading into the Miami game in late November. So, I mean, for Louisville, a huge matchup for this team, and this team could quickly rise into national contention with a win in this matchup. And with that, let's get to the prediction here for Notre Dame and Louisville coming up here in week 6 of action. This one, it's close. Definitely went back and forth, but I'm going to be taking Notre Dame in this one, 24-17. I'm just more confident in Notre Dame. I feel like Louisville's really shown potential and promise so far this season, and I feel like down the road in November, this could be a true ACC contender in Louisville. But Notre Dame right now, I just feel like is the better team. They kept it really close against Ohio State, almost won that matchup. And I mean, if they beat Ohio State there in week 4, which they very well could have, they were that close to doing so, this would be a top 5 Notre Dame team right now. So, I mean, you consider the experience of this team and Sam Hartman and Estime. This is a team that is built to win this season, and I think Notre Dame gets the win 24-17. So I'll say 55% towards the Irish. Definitely a close matchup here. Over-under is 54. I'm taking the under, and I'm pretty confident taking the under as well. I feel like Notre Dame, the past couple of games, I feel like their offense clicks a bit more in this matchup, but defensively they've been so impressive the past couple of weeks, and considering Louisville's been kind of all over the place offensively, that's where it's tough to predict the over-under or anything in this matchup, because Louisville is scored 56 as much as they've scored 13 like last week against NC State. But I'm going to be taking the under and Notre Dame to cover the spread in the end. But definitely a matchup to keep an eye on coming up here in week 6. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this matchup, your score predictions, all of that. Let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.